Over the last year and change, we've helped define Culinary Nunnsense as taking things that may be difficult and making them easy, taking things that are unhealthy and trying to make them healthier, or taking things familiar and making them, well, a little bit different, putting the Nunnsense in it. And that's exactly what they've done here at Moxie Kitchen and Cocktails at the Town Center. One of my personal favorites, all-time favorites as a kid, Sloppy Joe. You know, the red goopy stuff out of a can? Well, Chef Tom has taken Sloppy Joe to a whole new level, and we're going to check it out right here on Culinary Nunnsense. When it comes to lunchtime, dinner time too for that matter, I always look toward the burgers. That's where you can really get a flavor for the restaurant. But look at this, is what caught my attention. Sloppy Joe, open face, brisket, and short rib. Seriously, brisket and short rib? What happened to the greasy ground meat and that red slop out of a can? That's the Nunnsense added to it, but it's all his idea. Chef Tom from Moxie. All right, brisket,
yes,
and short rib. Two of my favorite meats. How does it all come together?
Natural Florida beef, hand cut, and then ground in-house. It all starts right here. Homemade sauce.
You grind the meat here?
You grind the meat here.
Can you take us through the whole process?
Absolutely. You have to come in my cooler, though.
It's hot outside. Let's go to the cooler. In the middle of summer in Florida, I can walk into any walk-in cooler if this is going to be the lesson right here. This feels fantastic.
Isn't that great?
All right, what's in the bowl?
Okay, this is some diced up brisket, some diced short ribs. This one may have a little bit of chuck in it. Sometimes when we're cutting chuck for our hamburgers, we'll blend that in also, because we cut all of our meats for our hamburger also. That's why this is our grinding station inside our cooler. So we have people fighting over who can get in here in summer. Not so much in February.
And let's face it, you got brisket and short rib. One's kind of short on fat anyway, so a little bit of chuck helps add to that.
Yes,
right.
And it's really great flavor. You know, short ribs has deep, rich flavor. You know, the brisket is a little bit more fat, but you know, and also good flavor. So that's why we use a blend versus just one meat. So we get it nice and diced up. Get our grinder going here.
And is there any particular ratio that you use, brisket to rib, chuck?
I would say we probably average about 60% of the short rib, 40% brisket, because the brisket can get a little bit fatty.
Yeah.
Because with the Sloppy Joe, it's different than the hamburger in that you cook it and you end up skimming off a lot of that excess fat that's in there. You know, it doesn't need that excess fat in there, because we have this beautiful sauce that goes in there. So, you know, we as we brown it, we skim off that excess fat. So
and let's face it, all three of those meats, it's low and slow on the methods that are preferred to cook those. So you're going to take something that's already meant to be broken down, and you're making it even more tender going through the grinder.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Yeah. What's the next step?
Next step, now we have to get it really hot.
So far, it looks like everything that Mom would do. You put it in a pan and you browned it.
Exactly. So we got it browned. We're looking for the fat to come up to the top. We're going to skim that off. There's really not much. There's just a little bit of fat here. We don't want to take the juice away, because that juice is a lot of flavor. We just look for the fat.
The fat that's coming off of this for three different types of meat is clear.
Yes.
You were telling me about the meat before, so go into greater detail. What kind of meat are we talking here?
This is the only true Florida beef. It's bred, raised, and finished in Florida. It's called Seminole Pride. It is they're Black Angus cows. They breed, I believe, roughly 5% Brahma into the breed to help them with the drought tolerancy. But it's a Black Angus cattle. It's beautiful meat, full of flavor. It has the right marbling, and the fat, when you see this nice white marbling, it's grass-fed to begin.
And that's the hot thing. Everybody wants grass-fed.
Everyone wants grass-fed, and then you eat it. You don't really love it as much. So this is actually finished on grain, and that's the key. It used to be that
adds more body, a little bit more bite to it.
Yes, yeah. So it adds that flavor. But what used to happen is that would get shipped off, and from Florida, get shipped out west to feedlots. So the Seminole tribe figured out that they could raise their own corn, raise their own cattle, and close that loop and keep that process right here in Florida. So this program just came online this year. We're one of the few restaurants that use it, and we use it exclusively. It is our steaks, it's our chuck, it's our, you know, so it's our hamburger, it's our Sloppy Joe, it's our steak. You know, you're eating beef at Moxie, you're eating Seminole Pride beef, which you can feel good about. It's a good, sustainable product.
It's like a Sunshine Steak commercial right there.
Welcome to Florida.
I feel like I got a tan just talking about the meat.
So next we're going to add our sauce. So we do a blend. It's about 3 parts tomato sauce, 1 part barbecue sauce. And this tomato sauce, like just to kind of talk about a little bit of depth of flavor here, this tomato sauce is made with tomatoes and roasted peppers. So the color is nice and bright, but it's also just more flavorful, more depth of flavor. Our barbecue sauce, one of the things that we add into it is just a touch of miso paste. So it's that nice umami flavor. So it's
kind of a little bit of a saltiness to it.
A little bit.
What? All right. So tell me the ratios again. If anybody's going to try to make this at home, the barbecue sauce to the tomato sauce is what?
1 part barbecue, 3 parts tomato.
Okay.
So this one, you know, we started with roughly 3 pounds of beef, and we have 1 cup of barbecue sauce and 3 cups of tomato sauce. So real simple, and you can see it's a pretty sloppy.
That is looking like a real sloppy Joe.
So this is going to need to simmer just maybe another 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes, and it'll be ready.
We've moved away from that 1,000-degree oven, and look at the magic inside of here. Here's your sloppy Joe. This is ready to go on some bread. But you know how restaurants always have the twist. Your twist, I'm guessing, is cheese.
It'll be the cheese. So we have our bread we've toasted. We get some really nice bread from the French pantry here locally.
What, no buns?
This is going to be open face because we're putting the sloppy and sloppy Joe.
I love it. So bring a big napkin.
Bring your big napkin, knife and fork. We'll put it in the bun if you want, but we do it this sloppy like this. And with the provolone, you can lay it over the top and let it melt in if you'd like to. But we actually griddle our cheese, give it that crisp pop, and then it stays gooey in the inside.
Not slipping it into the broiler or salamander.
No.
You're going to really fry the cheese.
Yes.
All right, you got to check this out.
And it's like I love those crispy edges of cheese and all that. Like when you have a macaroni and cheese.
Oh, absolutely. That's the part everybody fights for.
So here's the idea: is you get a whole disc of crispy. It does brown up nicely, and it starts to release a little bit of oil. As our cheese is almost finished, top with our sloppy Joe. Each one here at Moxie, it's right at a ½ pound of sloppy Joe.
A ½ pound sloppy Joe.
A ½ pound. So.
In case you're doing the fast food math at home, that's 2 quarter-pounders. I'm liking the way this is looking already. All right, breaking out the rubber spatula.
Okay.
It looks pretty good so far, Tom.
We hope for the best, and...
Oh, that just looks wrong. So Mama never put any toasted cheese on my sloppy Joe.
So you look at these edges, you get these nice crisp edges. I'm gonna move this so you can see, like, it's like gooey underneath. It's just a great little texture. We get some beautiful arugula from Bacon Farms, hydroponic farms. You get some crest from them. So we just top with a little bit of this arugula, which is sort of peppery. You know, it's not just it's not there just to add green to the dish. It is a nice peppery.
I'm guessing a lot of people
texture.
probably scrape that off to the side, just go for the.
They might.
But it's nice, yeah, with that peppery sauce.
And we put just a little touch of olive oil. You know, we don't. This doesn't need a lot of fat, but this is we use a really nice finishing olive oil, and then freshly ground black pepper, and so this, along with some French fries, little pickled vegetables. This is our sloppy Joe.
All right, you know, it looks great. Everything looks good on TV, but the real proof is to see if Mama would approve, if she would say that this is worthy of that moniker that we've all grown up with, that true sloppy Joe. So here we go. And just to refresh your memory, this is brisket, a little bit of chuck, and what was it?
Short rib.
And short rib.
Yes.
My mom's been doing it wrong the whole time. That's so much better than that slop out of a can.
We'll send her the recipe.
There it is. Incredible. Under sandwiches at Moxie. It's on your brunch menu. It's on your lunch menu. It's on your dinner menu.
You can get it almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And it's 100% awesome. Tom, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listen, grab your friends, grab your family, telling them you're going to take them to the best sloppy Joe place that they've ever been to. And I think that when you do, and you try this 3-part meat sloppy deliciousness, you too will be saying, when it comes to Moxie's sloppy Joe, there is none better.